Hi, everyone. Unfortunately, we didn't have the privilege of having face to face contact with the person I'm interviewing. But here, right now, we have Heather Wilson, an administrative supervisor from Child Protective Services in Schenectady, New York. And she's here to answer a couple questions. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
How long have you worked for Child Protective Services?
I've been employed by Schenectady County for 24 years, with the last I would say probably the last 22 in Child Protective Services.
Okay, and how would you describe a typical workday at CPS?
It is fast-paced. It is unplanned. We receive reports from the State Central Registry 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there is a steady flow of new work that comes in and needs to be assigned to caseworkers on a daily basis. And I spend a lot of time, supervising and talking about cases with casework staff and other supervisors.
Okay, and what parts of your job do you find most challenging?
Most challenging are probably the interpersonal relationships. The cases themselves, as complex and difficult as many of them are, it's negotiating the systems as far as trying to figure out what level of proof we need for family court versus police, involvement, and handling, interpretation of information. Caseworkers certainly come to the table with a different mindset sometimes and weighing out what's truly safety versus risk.
Okay, and what advice would you give individuals that are interested in your profession?
Um, Certainly to get as much experience as you can in the field. It is a very hands-on kind of learning as you go job. It is a civil service job, so you do have to have a degree in a related field. But one of the biggest things that we certainly say to new staff is that we, in Child Protective, don't do therapy. So a lot of times folks will come to us with social work degrees and counseling degrees, and all those skills are extremely helpful and relevant to the work. Our day-to-day tasks are not that. It really is more investigative in nature and putting together the pieces of a puzzle and, trying to figure out, what's going on within a family to address the health and safety concerns that are present.
Okay, and last question. I know for a number of years you did like some caseworking, and now you're administrative supervisor. So, what do you think is mainly the difference, or what is an administrative supervisor?
So as a caseworker, my job was to investigate and address the concerns in health and safety in those reports. So I spent my days, in the field, making home visits, interviewing kids, interviewing families, overlapping with law enforcement and community-based services.
Mm-hmm.
As an administrative supervisor, it's more in our hierarchy of things, I supervise the supervisors. So the information that I get about cases is not necessarily my own personal experience. I have to interpret information from the caseworker that's assigned, the supervisor that's assigned, and I have to gather my information and help direct the case from other people's information. So it's instead of me seeing it with my own eyes, it's me now seeing it through picture, through words, through written documentation and verbal presentation from workers and staff. I also have more personnel type responsibilities, so I deal with conflicts between caseworkers, making sure policies and procedures within the agency are followed, that kind of stuff. So it's a blend.
Okay, so basically on the hierarchy, it would go caseworker, supervisor, and then administrative supervisor, correct?
Right, right.
Okay.
So going right from caseworker, it's caseworker, like you said, and then a supervisor. Well, actually, there's a super caseworker, and then in Child Protective, we have senior caseworkers,
Okay.
and then a supervisor B, which is supervises the unit, and then the supervisor A supervises the supervisors, and there's three of us,
Okay.
and then there's the director of services that oversees all of children's services.
Okay.